Today I'm going to walk you through a real life example of me launching an e-commerce brand using Facebook ads, walking you through the week over week progression as we start to find creative that works and scale up the spend from an initially low budget. And by the way, this isn't some viral dropshipping product that sells itself from the get-go. This is a legit supplement brand that I've launched, initially with 0 pixel data and very poor performance. But over time, using the methods that I'm teaching you, I've gradually brought down that CAC and been able to scale up the spend. So if you hadn't guessed it already, this is why I've disappeared from making YouTube videos for the last 2 months. I had to focus on the problems that were happening with this brand when it initially launched. And now that it's in a better place, we can get back to making the content. But to start off with that content, I think it's probably going to be very valuable and a unique insight to go over this launch for you, show you the week over week as a bit of a case study, because it's a unique position where you get to see an actual brand being launched with Facebook ads. Most of the stuff you're probably going to see on YouTube or in people's courses will relate to them launching dropshipping products. That's really where you get to see something start, because you only start a big legitimate brand once. You'll maybe add alternative products in the future, versus dropshipping where they're constantly starting new brands, constantly starting new products. So they get to show you that process, but it's completely different. It's a completely different situation. As you'll see in this one, it's unlikely that you're going to do very well from the very first week when you're launching a proper legitimate brand. But over time, following the methods that I'm teaching, being confident in what you know, being confident in you setting aside budget to do what you got to do to figure things out, as long as you don't panic, you can over time bring down your CAC, increase your ROAS, increase your spend. And that initial phase of you maybe losing money, having really high CACs, is going to be wiped out by your future scale when you look back over, say, 6 months, a year's time. So without further ado, let's jump into the computer and actually start showing you what was happening week in week with the data inside Facebook. All right, so we're inside the Facebook report that I've pulled, the week over week one. So you can see up in the top right-hand side, we started on the 29th of May, and then the current date is 2nd of August, so we'll report this to the 1st of August, right? So the week commencing 29th of May, that was a Monday, that's when I started, but I didn't start on that day. I started like on the Wednesday or something, which is this week down here, okay? So super interesting. When I started, just to give you a bit of background, this is a sleep supplement. I'd built like a custom sales landing page. I had ads from doing my competitor research. I'd also tested the market before with a previous product. This product was a much higher price point, so that was a bit of an unknown, and it was a different medium of product. So the other one was capsules. This one was a powdered drink, which is a lot more uncommon. So it was almost like an untested product, right? And I started with £100. This is Great British pounds, £100 a day budget. That's what I was going with. That was my plan. I was happy to lose that a month. So I was happy to lose £3,000 a month in order to get the learnings and to figure things out, right? So I'd said to myself, doesn't matter. If we've got no sales at all, that money could be burnt. It's all part of the process, right? And I've talked about that in previous videos. You have to have money aside in your budgeting that you are not afraid to lose, because Facebook ads, you might lose money and you need to go through that process to be able to figure it out, okay? So you can see here, the first week we spent £800. So Facebook's gone a little bit over the budget. We had 3 purchases. The cost per purchase was £269 and a 0.14 ROAS. The cost per add to cart, in fact, was even like £58, okay? So first week, horrible results. The first day I launched, I got a sale, so it made me like feel a bit happy. It made me like think it was promising. But the first week you launch with 0 pixel data, I'm almost like expecting it not to do well, okay? So that didn't panic me at all, and we're still trying to figure out the price point, all these kind of things. There's a lot of unknowns in launching this brand. So yeah, so that's what happened in the first week. The price point of the product at that point was like £39 for a subscription, and it was £50 if you bought it as a trial, okay? So what I did going into the second week, after the first couple of days, was tweak the pricing, right? So I moved the pricing down to what competitors were selling on a different medium of product, but generally what the market value of that type of product was, okay? And that was £35 for the trial and then £29 for the subscription. So that week was going really badly as well. We had one purchase, and later on in the week, I decided, you know what, we're burning so much money with literally nothing happening. We're going through all these creatives that we've had for the test. That's 2 weeks in. Let's bring the budget down a little bit, because it's probably stupid to be spending that much when I'm waiting on further content, and I know the current creatives, they were just images, aren't working. Okay, so basically what happened was I launched as soon as the product was in the warehouse, but I didn't have my content creators with product yet, and I didn't have them able to make the content. So we just had to make do with images and graphical images and a rendered image of the product, not proper photographs. Okay, so not the best creatives to start with, but we had what we had. Okay, then coming into week 3, I still don't have the content, and I'm like, you know what, let's just pull the budget right back. This isn't working. Okay, so what we have right now, I'm just burning money. Yes, I have money set aside to use, but I'm never going to make these creatives work. And if I'm waiting on other creatives, there's no point just wasting this money, like hurting the platform, giving myself a bad CPM. Let me just pull it back, keep some brand awareness, because what was happening was I was getting some sales on Amazon. So I wanted to keep the brand like on the platforms, having that brand awareness, view traffic, but I needed to pull back the budget. So that's what I did. And you can see again, £150 cost per purchase. So a little bit better, the fact that now we know what creatives are working. I've been optimizing it now. I've been turning off stuff that doesn't work, moving the best stuff, which is not really winners, but the best stuff out of a bad bunch, into the winners campaign. And you can see that there is some improvement, but the price point of the product is £35. I've got my cogs within that as well. So the profit on it is smaller. It's not a sustainable business if it's costing me £150 to acquire a customer, because that's going to take 4 or 5 months subscription to be able to make profit on that. Okay, but that's fine. We're still waiting on the content. By the time we get to week 4, okay, I'm like, you know what, this content's taking too long. Let me just create a video, problem solution video myself, filmed it myself, and get it up. Okay, because that's me finally getting a video ad, and boom, it pops. Okay, when you have good content, the right creative on Facebook, it's your biggest lever. Things just work, right? So I'm not doing anything with interest. This whole account is broad, exactly everything that I teach. I just now have a good creative, a good angle that I've found from my research. I've hit those pain points. I provided a solution talking about the benefits of the actual product, and look what happens. We start to see the CPA come right down to £32. The CPM has come down to 17. Much better click-through rates now, and we're getting sales, most importantly. Okay, so I start to scale up again. This started happening at the end of the week. That's why the scaling hasn't been more than just £25. Okay, and I was scaling up 5% on this. So 5% on 300 is not very much, right? We come into the next week, and now that creative is really starting to find the right audience. Remember, we're broad, but it's starting to find the right audience. Look at my CPM. Facebook loves it. It's rewarding me for that good content. It's rewarding me for people having a good user experience. That CPM is coming right down. It's now at £11.59. The cost per purchase is coming down as I'm scaling. So I've scaled the account up more than 100% in that next week. Yet I'm also alongside that getting better CPA. Okay, so you don't have to get higher CPA, lower ROAS as you scale. If you're improving things, the two are going to go hand in hand. You're going to get better performance, and you're going to be spending more money, right? So we scale quite hard that week. We then go into the next week, still hitting performance. We're running in that creative. We're still scaling it every couple of days, just 5 or 10%. So like super modest. You don't need to go hard. This is a long-term sustainable business. I don't need to blow out the machine by giving too much budget, scaling too fast and disrupting things. Okay, I'm focused on scaling slowly, gradually, teaching the machine, getting a good CPM, and keeping that CPA low over time. And also, because it's a new business, I don't want to scale too hard and have all these problems with returns, have problems with my customer support. stock issues, I have to be more sensible and more slow. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So you can see it's still improving. Scale the next week, up £400 from 1,000. Again, the CPA is still staying super low. This is a super good CPA for this product and for my cost of goods. Okay, we then get to this week, which was last week, and it's not as good, right? So you can see the cost per purchase has come up. It's still not bad, and the cost per cart is a little bit higher than normal. Purchases are down a little bit, but this is going to happen, guys. It's natural. Things are not always going to be good every single week. Doesn't mean I have to go and change things because that week's bad. Doesn't mean I've gone and turned off that creative or, put new things in the account because it's not working. It fluctuates up and down. You want to be looking at longer time spans. How's it looking on the month? How's it looking on the 90 days, right? It's looking good. And then what you see the next month, the next week, this week, you can see the start of the week, that cost per purchase has come back down again. So hopefully this week we'll have another good week and we can scale even more, because obviously this is only 2 days into the week and we're at, £400 spent, 22 cost per purchase. The spike for this brand is always at the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's when I get the majority of sales. If we've already started this week off quite good with good sales, by the end of the week, it should be looking good and we should be scaling more with good cost per purchase. The problem I'm going to run into now, though, is that I will run out of stock in the next 4 weeks and I'm going to have to wait 2 months to get more stock. Okay, so I didn't expect it to go off this well. So I'm not going to scale too hard at the moment. I want to sustain that stock as long as possible, but still be teaching the machine that, if you're getting me good performance, you get more budget, I scale you, right? Because remember, it's a machine learning platform. We want to be effectively training it, right? So you can see here, my CPA was super high, as I was talking about earlier. And when you would look back at like the lifetime of this campaign in the account, the CPA would be up at like £500, then it was like 300, then it was 250. Now the lifetime CPA on this campaign is 33, okay? So even though we started at something that was super high and was blowing out the whole account, I've done that learning earlier on, and now as I scale and have lower CPA, this is coming down every week, okay? So in a couple of weeks, this will probably be down, in the 20s, depending on what happens, okay? So over time, as you scale, looking at longer time scales, that's what you want to be looking at. That's where you're going to see your best results, okay? If I was just looking at this in 3 weeks, it looks terrible. But once I zoom out after a couple of weeks, actually, it doesn't look that bad, okay? The account's looking good. We had to do that work to get such good performance here, okay? We had to get those learnings. So yeah, what we're doing going forward, well, now I'm basically working on getting new creative. I've got other scripts that I'm getting content creators to make. And that video that I made myself, I'm now getting people to remake that. So we've got different demographics. We've got girls making it, people with English accents. I have a Scottish accent. This is being sold to the UK. Different ages, because it's a proven script. So I know something works. Let's now try and reshoot that with different people so it resonates with different people who might not resonate with me presenting it, okay? And then we also have other scripts, which when I find out which one of those content creators is the best because they made the same video that I know is proven, I can then give them more work with those scripts, okay? And then we'll also work on images and things as well. So if I just jump into the account now, you can see here 29th of May to 1st of August, 7261 spent. 29th of May, 1st of August, 7261 spent here. Look, guys, this is the exact setup I'm teaching you. I have one campaign running. Okay, these other campaigns are for like brand awareness, lead gen, things I was doing in the past, and one was a different product here. But I'm running one campaign for this product. You can see the budget's now up at £239 a day, gradual scaling. I've got one winner's ad set, and I've got 2 dynamic creative tests running at the moment. So at this point in time, the main creative is running in this dynamic creative ad set here, right? And that's still taking all the spend. So even though I have moved it into the winner's ad set, it's just not getting very much spend at the moment because I don't have a roster of creatives. So the creative is working in this dynamic creative where it has the option to use different videos, it has the option to use different creatives. There's no benefit in the platform at this point in time giving money to this separate ad set that just has that one creative, which was the top performer from within this dynamic creative. But once I have, say, 3 or 4 top performing creatives in that winners ad set, it's at that point that the platform is going to go, all right, now it makes more sense to give money to this ad set because he's got all the best of everything. He's got the best of the best in here. Let's put all the money towards there because it's going to be able to outperform what we can do in any one individual ad set. Okay, so that's what's going on there. You can see all the spends coming here. The winners, the cost per purchase, the CAC on the winners is high, but remember I'm looking at the lifetime. Okay, and you can see this new one that I've launched which is basically just an iteration of this existing video, the top video. It's just started. It's not getting much spend, but it's got a low CAC as well, right? So like I said, this is £80 CAC, but if we look at the last week, you can see the winners is actually not getting very much spend, but it's got a good CAC at £23, right? It's doing better than this one at the moment, but obviously this has got way more scale, okay? And all that's running in that is this one creative, which was the video I talked about, and then this other creative, which we had used previously. And this is just kind of acting as like a bit of a support creative. So the main work's been done by that dynamic creative, which has this video and other videos like it in it with different hooks. And this is doing a little bit of support as a remarketing ad. So I'll show you that now. If we look at the frequency, let's look at this. Okay, this is interesting. You can see here, so the video, this is not a good example actually, because this is the, not spending much. So that's the main video ad set, right? Look at the frequency, 1.05. That ad is going out prospecting. It's going out getting new people. It's not being shown to people over and over again. Hence why the frequency is very, very low, okay? Very close to 1. But if you look at this one, the frequency is 1.23 on the day, and it's 1.24 on this ad that's generating the sales, okay? So this ad is being used more, maybe middle, bottom of funnel. It's been used to remarket to people. Very small audience probably. It's got a very small spend, but it is having an impact in that function of a support creative to that main creative. So you want to have a roster. My goal for this now is going to be getting more content to fill out that suite. But obviously, as it's a new brand, I don't necessarily have all that content. You know, I don't have many testimonials yet. I can get them made with UGC, but that's an expense at this scale that doesn't really give me much benefit. So my main goal is to get it scaled a lot more. Again, like I said, I'll go out of stock in 4 weeks. So we'll go out of stock, we'll wait the 2 months, get the new product, which has had some slight adjustments based on feedback. We'll run that with this exact same stuff again, and then we'll scale it up and we'll start to introduce new creatives over time. And then that stuff won't go out of stock because I've got a lot more stock of it. And I'll have better stock management because I now know predictably how much it's going to be selling each week because I have a certain scale. I know my cost per purchase, my CAC, and I can start working out what I do for stock. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that, guys. That's basically it. Like, I'm not doing anything different from what I'm teaching you. It is exactly the same. You know, there's no secrets here. I don't need to like hide what's happening in the account. You know exactly what I do. You can go look at my ads library, see what creatives I'm running. You can see the landing pages. Like, you know, the platform these days is simple. It's all about having a good brand, having a good product, and then working on your creative, doing a lot of research into your creative, taking the learnings and iterating on your creative, right? There's nothing complicated, no secret audiences, stuff that people would need to hide these days. It's simple. You just have to be good at marketing, right? And the machine's going to reward you for that. Then the other thing I just want to show you as well, like I'm running this stuff on the platform, but let's not forget landing pages, okay? So, you know, post-click, not something I've maybe talked about very much on YouTube yet, but like post-click landing page testing is something also very, very valuable for your brand. So initially when all the problems were happening and I was adjusting the price point, I thought there was a problem with the landing page. So I decided to make a completely different landing page, which was actually based on Obvi, if you've seen Obvi, the collagen brand. I know they spend a lot of money on their landing pages and they've got some very good people working on it. So I decided to basically take inspiration from their structure, the different points they had, and fit it to my product, my brand, which was obviously to do with sleep, not collagen. And then test that against the one I had. In that same period, though, the creative popped off, and what I found was actually the original landing page was doing better than the page that I'd replicated from their one, okay? So then I finished that test, stuck with the page, and went, right, let's now try and iterate on that winning page. So right now what we're doing is we're running a landing page test, which is basically the original landing page, and then a second version, which is the exact same content. I've just edited the formatting slightly to make it way more consolidated on mobile, so people can see more things in each scroll of the screen, okay? They're not having to scroll and scroll and scroll. More information is packed into one place. The initial week of that test, actually, the new one was looking good, and that's kind of what I want. I want the new one to work better. But looking at it now, it's very close, but the old one does seem to have a slight edge. So it's got another week to run. But, you know, depending on what happens, if it's close enough, I might just move to this second one, because from a design perspective, it's just better, okay? So this original one might be slightly better at actually converting, but I don't mind that slight difference from the perspective that this is just better for my brand. It looks better. And then, you know, over time, ideally, we're going to be looking to improve the bigger elements within this, improve the actual content. And it won't matter that this one was slightly better, because we'll try and get better than this anyway. You know, we'll try and get this up at like 3%. Maybe that's too ambitious. I don't really know what the average would be for a supplement company in the UK. But yeah, we will see, okay? So I don't really have anything else to show you guys. That's really it. I just wanted to show you the week over week. Hopefully that has been of some value and you get to like see what has happened. Really, my main goal is just to reassure you that, you know, this stuff works. I'm doing exactly what I'm showing you that you should be doing. A new brand's going to be volatile at start. Don't listen to dropshippers. They're talking about something completely different that doesn't relate to you and is not a sustainable business in the long run. Okay. And yeah, hopefully this just gives you the confidence that if you're not getting the results now, have the money set aside that you're not afraid to lose, and just keep working on it until you get it. Of course, you have to have the right product, but if you have competitors that are selling the same product and they have businesses that are successful doing it, you know, it means the concept is proven. You can do it as well. You just have to get enough data in the machine, and you have to find the creatives that work. Okay. So without further ado, thanks for watching. You know, content's coming back soon. I've got some really good ideas that I think are really going to help you. I'll probably show you in the next video how to actually make a UGC video, the problem solution type script, and how you brief that to content creators, because that's something that going through this process, you know, running a brand that is my own, where I don't have a creative team doing that, or we don't have the clients doing it, or a big spend. Actually, it's quite a difficult process, and there's a lot of bad creators out there, and they don't really know how to make content that actually converts. Okay, so until the next time, thanks for watching, and see you very soon.